It's good morning here, but it's really good morning there, isn't it? It's super early where you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's super early. Thank you so much, ma'am. Anna, you just joined us. We are really glad to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for
Alright.
having me.
Okay, let me introduce her first.
Alright.
I've already actually, copied and pasted the details on the other mobile, and I'll read it to everyone in the video so that actually they can find out who Anna is, okay, and what she's going to do in the future, and what is she going what is she actually doing right now. So if the mobile turns on, okay, I'll read it in a minute. I didn't paste it, everything in the mobile was not actually turning on, and I don't know why did it turn off.
It always happens when you go live.
Yeah, it does.
This is where thinking on your feet comes in.
Yeah.
Luckily,
yeah, I think it won't turn on. All right, okay. Anna, I will copy, okay, and paste the whole of the description right next to the video.
Sure.
Okay, so that people know who you are.
Yeah.
Okay. And until I copy and paste everything just next to the video, you can actually introduce yourself, please.
Oh, wow. Well, first of all, can you guys hear me properly? I think that my microphone is...
we can hear you perfectly, ma'am. Perfectly. I can hear you perfectly.
Oh,
yes,
good. That's good. Okay. All right. I'll just jump right in because I'm not sure if it's coming through this or not. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Habib. It's wonderful to be here. My name is Anna Perdrio. I'm known as Anna the Speaking Stylist because I am super passionate about public speaking and helping people with their public speaking. Teaching people how to connect with their audience, whether it's getting rid of those nerves and some of the fear and the mindset issues that sometimes we have before we speak with an audience, through to structuring their presentation and just connecting with their audience and making their presentations more fun. Because I used to work in the government for many years and we had lots of presentations, and let's just say they weren't the most fun ones out there. So I'm on a mission. I'm on a worldwide mission to help people with their public speaking and to make public speaking fun. And let's ban boring presentations and have fun.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's great. I'm just...
I think Mr. Habib is frozen, I guess.
I think he has. He's frozen with excitement about public speaking.
All right. So, okay.
Early there, isn't it?
All right. Up until then, I'd like to continue. Ma'am, thank you so much that you introduced to us. Since you are a public speaker stylist, so we would like to ask you to give our audience the tips, the tricks, the hacks. How can they go ahead and improve their speaking skills?
Certainly. Thank you so much for asking. And when I spoke with Habib, he said that you guys are, and the audience out here is very interested in particular in the area of when English is not your first language and being the clearest communicator that you can be. So that's what I'd love to focus on here, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that is okay. Yeah, I completely agree on that. And one more thing, ma'am, especially for the non-native speakers, since we are the non-native speakers of English, so when we have to speak English in a public or in a group, so we are supposed to just, just be hesitant to speak, and we might not be able to speak confidently. We might think that if we make mistakes, and the people are going to just scoff at us, laugh at us. How can we go ahead and remove
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, exactly.
Yes, we can hear you, Habib. Welcome back.
Okay. Can you hear me or not?
Yes, we can.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we
Okay,
can
I
hear
hear
you.
you.
You are being shown on two sides.
It's thumbs
Like
up.
in the
Yes,
I can
it's
hear
now.
you.
Yeah,
Multiplied.
that is great. Yeah, you are multiplied with 2.
Yeah.
You're everywhere at once.
Yeah, all right, all right. So back to the question, ma'am. I was
Yes.
asking. Yeah, back to the question. I was asking a lot of non-native speakers whenever they have to speak in public or in a group or they have to deliver presentation, they are going to
क्या इसको उतारना है?
feel hesitant. They are
बेटी
reluctant
गलत
to
काम
come
क्यों करता
forward
है?
and speak in a
मैंने
non-native
कहा
language.
कंप्यूटर
How
से
can
शेयर
they
करें.
go ahead and
ये बात
just
समझ नहीं आती आपको?
remove this fear of being wrong or fear of making mistakes? How can they just overcome this fear?
You know what? This is a worldwide thing. It is not only for non-native speakers, it's for everybody. Because sometimes, you know what happens? Our brain wants to protect us and tries to keep us safe and says things to us. Like, things like, who do you think you are? And it's trying to protect us before we go into our speaking. And that's not helpful, is it? Because it's holding us back. So what we want to do is actually address this. We actually want to take control of our thoughts and say, hang on a minute, I've got something to say here. I have a really important message for my audience. And to move the shift away from you to be thinking about your audience.
Exactly.
And once you do that, once you're able to make that shift up here, then that's when you can really remove that barrier. Think of it like there's a big rock, right in front of your face, and your audience is on the other side of that. And so it's just a matter of shifting that rock, and the rock is really the thoughts that you are letting in, that you are allowing into your energy. So preparing your energy before you speak with your audience. Now, what was the exact thought that you mentioned there? Just remind me what it was. It was, people might laugh at me.
Yeah, people might laugh at me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now, your audience is not going to laugh at you because your audience wants you to give them some value. So, saying they might laugh at me is simply, it's an irrational fear that, is just getting in the way of you and your audience. So what you want to do is bring in your positive thinking. You want to bring in your positive thoughts. So rather than saying they might laugh at me, what could you think instead of that? What could you replace that with?
That they would appreciate me, they would encourage me, or they will just, they will believe what I'm talking about. These things, we have to replace our negative thoughts with the positive ones.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Yes, absolutely. You've got it there. So yeah, it's just, and this is the thing, this is happening before we even speak to the audience.
Exactly.
So, imagine if we can just address that and then we can speak with our audience without the pressure of those, thoughts that are holding us back.
Absolutely. I agree on that.
So, so being really conscious. So because look, it's only natural to get nervous before you speak with your audience. Yeah. So what we can do is, have your little pre-speaking routine where you make sure that what's going on in your mind is really positive. That you're not letting those unhelpful thoughts come in.
Yes. So we have to be we have to prepare for our presentation, speech, or any kind of announcement we are going to make. So we have to practice it very well, so that when we just go before the audience, we are confident enough, we are prepared enough to go ahead and deliver that efficiently and effortlessly. This is what I think.
That's absolutely right. Yes. And if you are prepared, then there's no reason why you wouldn't be giving value for your audience, because your audience wants to hear from you and they want to have value from you. So it's only natural.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree on that.
Yeah, preparation is really, really important.
Yes, definitely. Mr. Habib, can you please hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you right now. There has
All
been
right.
problem, but I'm fine now.
Oh, good.
All right. Would you
Good
like to
that
say
we've got you
something,
back
please?
again.
Okay, there's one thing you can do.
Yes.
Could you actually just take out the other version of mine out of the video, please?
Who, me?
No, it's not you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's not you.
I wasn't
All
expecting
right. Now it's perfect.
technical things here.
All right. Now that is perfect, right?
Thank you so much.
Oh, look, I see that somebody else wants to join us.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think so.
How
One
many
second.
people
Yeah,
can we have on here?
exactly.
This
Yeah.
is quite
Hello.
fun, isn't it?
Assalamu alaikum. How's everyone?
Walaikum salam.
Good morning.
How are you? Good morning. How's everyone?
Wonderful.
Oh,
How
that's
are you?
great. I am absolutely great. I actually saw this on the Facebook and I was really, really happy to see everyone talking in a really good accent. I was really amused. Like, how come people are copying every accent right now?
That is
Copying
great to
me.
hear.
Thank you so much for coming and joining. Okay.
Yes. Thank you
Today,
very much. You're
actually,
welcome.
we are supposed to listen to Anna only
Okay.
Yeah.
because we want to actually get benefit from her.
Okay. That's good. That's
Okay,
good.
she's a speaking stylist. She's a
Can you
public
introduce?
speaker,
Can you?
and she works on
Okay.
people all around the world.
Oh, that's really great.
So,
Yeah.
That's really great.
Exactly. So Miss
so
Anna is
okay,
going to give us
Anna,
some
could
tips.
you actually just tell us how can we become the magical speaker,
Oh,
and how can
Yeah.
we actually attract the attention of the audience through our humor and
Mhm.
whatever we have got in us, so that they are really amazed but by what we say
Okay.
and by what we actually talk like.
Great.
mhm.
I understand.
That's a wonderful question, Habib. Thank you for the question. And I love the way that you phrase that, because to be an effective speaker is to be a magical speaker. So I love that question. You're right. There is magic in speaking, because let's face it, if you think of the great speakers or the great leaders, whether from our time or past, they all had the speaking skill, didn't they? They all had the ability to communicate with their audience and to connect through the spoken word.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why we should, why this is such a magical skill to have and so important, which you've really hit on there. And what I wanted to focus on first of all is 3 things, because you asked me to specifically speak about people where English is not your first language. And I want to give 3 steps here on what you can do to bring out the clearest communication. And the first step there is to identify the blocks. Okay, so we all have what I call communication blocks. Now, a block is simply a word or a sound that is not as clear as it could be, and our audience, between the time the message is sent and the message is received, the noise is getting in the way. So we want to identify where those blocks are and what those blocks are. And then the second step, once we've identified what the blocks are, because let's face it, every accent, and particularly when we go to learn a second language, this happens because we're always speaking in the rhythm patterns of our original language, of our mother tongue language, the language that we learnt when we were just a little baby. So once we identify what those blocks are, then we can take steps to address those. And that's step 2, which is to remedy. Okay, so a remedy is a little bit like if you get sick, it's taking the medicine. And in this case, it's simply modifying the communication to remove those blocks. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
I can absolutely understand that.
Yeah. So the remedies, and there are a number of things that we can do just in our everyday. So ask yourself, okay, if it's English that, you know, you particularly want to be an effective speaker in, what am I doing on a daily basis? Am I making sure that I listen to English, to effective English speakers? You know, am I tuning in, or am I spending all of my time speaking in my mother tongue language, because this is where the comfort zone is? You know, when we always speak in our mother tongue language, that's our comfort zone. So we need to step out of that comfort zone. And that's not the easiest thing in the world to do, is it?
Yes, it is. It is.
Right,
It is.
that's wonderful.
That's why it's called a comfort zone, because it's uncomfortable to step out of.
I have a question, if I can ask. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to ask that. An accent, is it necessary to have an accent to have a good communication? Like, if a person just like, if I talk with you, like, are you a UK, from the UK, or from the USA? As if I ask. And if I have,
Okay. Yeah, come live again. All right. And I'll work upon your accent. Okay. There is no problem at all. She's from Australia. Okay. I just want to stick to the topic. Thank you so much.
Is it necessary to have the accent? Like, you have to have the accent to talk with people, or is it okay? You just can use any accent. Is it okay?
In
Like, to
my
get the
opinion, you don't need any specific accent. You can speak any of them. The main purpose or the major thing in your speaking should be the clear communication. That's it.
Yes. Yes, it's just
clear
for
communication,
the
so
other
that-
person to actually understand.
Yeah, the decoder is really understand that what you're talking about. As long as if that's possible, then any accent is I guess is okay.
Okay. Because I've seen that a lot of people in Pakistan, when they talk with someone in English, so the crowd is not actually like, they don't understand what he's trying. They actually ignore that person if he tries the basic Pakistani accent, right? But if someone is using a really good accent for English, everybody's like giving attention to that person. So this is what I have noticed very much.
Yeah, I think that's a good observation, because people within the culture will respond more if you are speaking in the rhythm patterns of their native tongue. Having said, you know, when it comes to English, there are many variations of English accents. You know, there is not one. There's an Australian English accent, like,
yes,
you know, where I'm from. There's a British English accent. There's an American English accent. So even within English, there are many different accents. So I think it's now more acceptable that, you know, there are different variations, as long as people can understand the word. And that comes back to my point about identifying the communication blocks.
Yes, absolutely. I just got to that.
Sometimes people will have to, you know, they'll really have to listen in more. If there are a lot of blocks there, they'll be thinking, you know, they'll be saying to you, "Oh, pardon, what did you say?" And they'll be sort of listening in more, which makes them have to work harder. So if you can remove the blocks, they don't have to work as hard.
Yes, I can understand what you're saying. I absolutely agree with that.
Okay, and you were on the first step is to recognize the problem. The second one is to actually bring the remedy.
Remedy, that's right. Yeah.
Or medicine. What is the third step, please?
Thank you. Yeah, excellent listening skills. You were following along very well there, Habib. Thank you. Yeah, so well, just on the remedy, I just wanted to also mention, so make sure that you're listening in, that you're practicing, develop a really good ear. And these sorts of things will really make a difference, because once we increase awareness, that's when you can make the change. And that does lead to step 3, which is, of course, the action. Because let's face it, we can dream about all the change in the world. We can have these big visions and think about becoming that amazing leader or whatever it is that you want to achieve, or to speak about your topic confidently. But if we don't take action towards that goal, it's not going to happen. So the key there is to really take action.
Yes,
take
of course.
the steps. Take the steps.
All right, okay.
So
Okay, I've got another question.
Oh, yeah.
Are you complete, or you have to say something more?
Oh, I was going to add something, but that's okay. Jump on in.
All right, okay. Yeah, the question is about humor.
Yes.
The humor is something which creates a sort of interest in somebody who listens to you. As far as our Facebook communication is concerned, we have a very big audience. Okay, and they keep listening to us just for their own improvement.
Wonderful.
But the main thing that we have to create in our speaking is to bring humor and entertain the audience.
Yes.
Make them, create a very strong connection between the speaker and the listeners. And, go further on and on, so that they become amazing speakers. And besides that, they should be able to create a great interest in what they say. All right, so that people keep listening to them, improving themselves in a really magical way. All right, and there is a really strong connection, okay, and respect that we as speaker want to have as well should be maintained. That shouldn't be actually that shouldn't affect the reputation of the speaker as well.
I might
Did
have.
I
Was there a
make
question?
sense or not?
So I might have missed something at the end there. Was there a question at the end?
Okay, yeah, the question was right in the beginning.
Oh, sorry.
How can we actually
enjoying the message?
Okay,
I guess your
just want
question was
you to
about
tell
humor,
people,
actually.
Question about humor.
yeah, how can they bring humor so that people keep talking to you, keep listening to you, and there is a great environment and atmosphere of speaking and communicating and improvement.
Yes. You know what? I believe that it's where the energy comes from. So, even if I'm not a funny person, I don't have a lot of humor, a lot of, jokes, but what I bring is the energy, and, people respond to your energy. So if you can bring them something to be excited about, to be looking forward to, and they want to be a part of that. So, people love energy and enthusiasm. They are attracted to it. So if you're coming to them with your magical show that is bringing them value, and you are thinking about, you're constantly thinking about what you're bringing them. And then when you're delivering that, you're always thinking about how you can bring them more value, more education, help them more. It's all about helping people. So if you can bring them that, and then the fun, if you bring that fun energy, the fun will naturally unfold. You don't have to come with written jokes. I mean, of course, it's great. It's wonderful to bring the humor, but sometimes the best humor is humor that just unfolds naturally.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I think what you're doing is great. I think, you've got a wonderful mindset to be bringing this show to people and bringing improvement into their lives. So well done, Habib. It's absolutely wonderful what you're doing. And I think,
Thank you so much.
you can just, keep building it from there. And you've got a great energy. So the more that you bring that energy and your enthusiasm.
All right. Okay. Thank you so
Wonderful.
much.
So
Is there anything you...
well done.
Yeah, well done, exactly. Well done. So Miss Anna is
Thank you so
clapping
much for
just because
coming and joining.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
And ma'am, please keep on
And could you
just
actually
joining us.
say something, something really valuable right at the end of the show, so that actually, we remember and the people who actually listen to you understand what they have to do in their life as well.
Sorry, you wanted me to say something to leave with the people?
Exactly. Anything.
Yeah.
All right.
Is this the end of the session?
Was that another question for me or?
Yeah, I asked everyone, is this the end of the session, or is it like just this?
So anything you like to leave
If
us
you've got
with?
question and if you've got time, you can go on.
Okay, so here's my message for everyone. Okay, so my message is this. You have within you unlimited potential. You are a human being that is a creator, and you have the ability and the potential beyond what you even can conceive. So keep working on yourself. Keep improving, because I promise you, you have so much potential within you, so much ability, so much magic to bring out that can help people in the world. So don't stop. Believe in yourself and keep going. Keep improving, because there are people out there who need you right now. So keep going. You have magic to bring. You have unlimited potential, and speaking is a way that you can bring that out. So keep going. You are amazing. I love you, and I look forward to seeing you shine on stage.
Wow. That is
Thank you
really
so
great
much.
message. That is really memorable. We'll definitely just remember it, and this is something great message. We are really great to have you, Miss Anna, and please keep on joining us.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much for having me, guys. It's been really fun.
It's been really entertaining, and it has been really great fun talking to you.
It has.
Okay, Wajid bhai, you can actually end the broadcast.
Okay. Oh, who, me?
He's the one.
Oh, he's gonna do it.
Nice.
All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Once again, Miss Anna, thank you so much for joining us. Please joining us. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.